I never thought I'd be the guy posting something like this, but here we are. My name's Mike, and I want to tell you all what happened. How I found out my wife, Lisa, cheated on me during what was supposed to be a special trip. We'd been together for nearly 10 years, married for 5. Honestly, I thought we had a pretty good thing going. Sure, there were little disagreements here and there, but I never suspected anything huge until that trip. It started about 6 weeks ago, right before our anniversary. Lisa had been acting weird for a while, but I just chalked it up to stress at work or maybe her being tired. She's always been a little bitchy when she's tired or overwhelmed, snapping at me over small things. But lately, she'd become more distant, more dismissive. She'd brush off my questions, say she was busy, or just give me that fake smile that told me she was hiding something. I noticed she was wearing more makeup when she was home, and she'd stay out late with her friends, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Then, the trip itself. We booked a nice weekend getaway to Napa, just us, a little celebration for our anniversary. I thought it was a chance to reconnect, to rekindle that spark we'd been losing. But the first sign something was off was how she kept looking at her phone. She'd hide it whenever I came near, and she'd get defensive if I tried to glance at it. That's not normal for us. We used to be open about sharing everything, even our phones. The second sign was her attitude. She was bitchy, dismissive, snapping at me for no real reason. I remember asking her about the wine tour itinerary, and she snapped back. "Just relax, Mike," like I was bothering her. She was never that way before. It just felt like she was hiding something. But I didn't know what exactly until the last night of the trip, when I accidentally found her phone. We were in the hotel room, late at night. I had gone to grab a drink from the minibar, and when I came back, her phone was just sitting on the nightstand, unlocked. I didn't mean to look, honestly, but the screen lit up and there was a message from a guy named Ryan. It was late, around 11:30 p.m., and the message was flirty about how much she missed him and how she couldn't wait to see him again. I froze, my stomach sank. I stared at the message, trying to process what I was reading. My mind was racing. How long has this been going on? Was it recent? Have they been texting all along? The worst part was the tone of the messages, playful, intimate in a way that made it clear they had some kind of history. And her replies, they weren't just friendly. They were flirtatious, teasing, almost overtly sexual. My heart started pounding and my hands trembled as I looked at her phone. I saw enough. I sat there for a long moment, stunned. I couldn't believe it. After everything we'd been through, she'd been sneaking around, lying to my face. I felt betrayed, broken, and furious at the same time. I didn't want to wake her up and confront her then, so I just quietly slid the phone back on the table and went to bed. But I knew I had to confront her soon. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything I saw, trying to make sense of it. I felt like a fool. How did I miss all the signs? Was I really that blind? The next morning, I woke up early and she was still sleeping. I looked at her lying there, so perfect, so innocent, but I knew better now. I knew that wasn't the truth. When she finally woke up, I decided I couldn't keep pretending normal. I asked her to sit down. Her face immediately changed, defensive, bitchy, ready with excuses. She said I was overthinking, that I was paranoid, that I was imagining things. But I had enough evidence now. I laid it all out, showed her the message I saw, told her about the vibe I got. She rolled her eyes, laughed it off, called me crazy, said it was just a misunderstanding, that she wasn't cheating, just talking to an old friend. Yeah, right. That's what she kept saying. I felt sick. My mind was a tornado of confusion and anger. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't. Everything she'd said and done in the last few weeks was screaming at me that she's been lying, hiding something huge. And I was left standing there, feeling like I'd been hit by a freight train. How could she do this? How could she betray me like that, especially during our anniversary trip? It was supposed to be a celebration, something special. Instead, it became the moment I realized I was in a relationship built on lies. After that confrontation, everything just spiraled. I couldn't focus. I couldn't breathe right. My head was spinning with anger, hurt, and a deep sense of betrayal. She kept insisting it was nothing, just some stupid flirt, and that I was overreacting. I couldn't believe how bitchy she was being about it, like I was the one losing my mind for catching her in a lie. She had the nerve to look me dead in the eyes and call me paranoid, say I was jealous, that I was imagining things. That's how she always did it: deflect, deny, gaslight. I didn't want to lose it right then, but I did. I told her she could pack her bags and leave if she was going to keep lying and playing games, that I wasn't going to be some idiot who gets played like a damn fool. She scoffed, said I was overreacting, that she loved me, but I was. Buying it, not anymore. I felt like I'd been hit with a sledgehammer, like my entire life was a lie and I was just starting to realize it. I spent the rest of that day trying to process what I'd just seen. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. All I kept thinking about was her sneaking around behind my back, the lies, the fake smiles. It was like a punch to the gut every time I remembered how she'd looked me in the face and lied. Honestly, I kept replaying that moment when I saw her phone, wishing I had never looked, wishing I could go back and pretend I didn't know. Ignorance might have been bliss, but I knew I had to face it. I had to confront her again, get some kind of explanation, though I already knew there wasn't one that could fix this. When she finally came back to the hotel room that evening, she looked smug, like she thought she could talk her way out of it. I told her she needed to be honest, to tell me what she really wanted. That if she was still seeing him, I wanted to know now. She rolled her eyes and spun some bullshit about how Ryan was just an old friend she'd been talking to for a while, that it didn't mean anything, that I was just jealous. I asked her how she could sit there and lie to my face like that after everything. She shrugged and snapped. "You always think I'm cheating or lying, Mike. Maybe you're the one with the problem." That was the moment I realized she wasn't just caught up in some stupid flirt. She was trying to make me doubt myself. Classic move. She wanted me to feel crazy, to doubt what I saw, to accept her lies. But I didn't buy it, not anymore. That night I just sat there looking at her, feeling numb. I knew I had to make a decision, one that would change everything. Do I keep trying to hold on to this, or do I cut my losses and walk away? I'd never been so fucked up over someone in my life. I never thought she'd cheat on me, especially during our trip. It was supposed to be a moment for us to reconnect, and she turned it into a betrayal I'd never forget. The trust I had in us was shattered, and I wondered if I could ever put the pieces back together. I couldn't sleep that night. My mind was racing, about the lies, about her bitchy attitude, about the fact that she had been hiding Ryan from me all this time. I kept thinking, how could she do this? How could someone I loved so much throw everything away for some stupid sex or some stupid flirt? The worst part is I kept questioning myself. Did I miss the signs? Was I too blind to see what she was really doing? Or was she just that good at hiding it? The next morning I knew I needed some space. I told her I was leaving, that I couldn't stay in that room anymore, not with her lying right in front of me. She screamed, called me crazy, said I was making it all up, but I had made my decision. I packed my things and left the hotel, walking out into the cold morning with an ache in my chest I'd never felt before. I didn't say a word to her as I left. I just knew I couldn't stay there in that lie any longer. Now I'm back home, trying to piece myself back together. I'm angry, I'm broken, and honestly, I don't know if I'll ever trust her again. That trip was supposed to be a celebration, but it turned out to be the moment I realized I was married to someone who's not who I thought she was. I still can't believe she lied so effortlessly, so bitchily, and just kept spinning her stories like nothing happened. It's like I was the fool all along, trusting someone who had been cheating on me with my best friend. That's the part that stings the most, feeling so stupid for not seeing it coming. But now, I guess I have to figure out what's next. Since I left the hotel, everything been a blur. I've been trying to keep it together, but honestly, it's like my mind's stuck in some kind of loop, going over everything again and again. I keep thinking about the moment I saw those messages from Ryan, how she brushed it off so casually when I confronted her. She's always been good at lying, better than I thought. That bitchy attitude she threw at me during the trip, that was her trying to push me away, trying to make me doubt myself so I wouldn't blow her cover. I'll admit, part of me still wanted to believe she'd come clean, that maybe she'd just been caught in a moment of weakness and that we could somehow fix this. But deep down, I knew she'd been lying for a long time, that she'd been hiding this Ryan thing from me, maybe for months. And the worst part, I didn't even have a clue. I was so blind, so trusting. until that phone revealed everything. Since coming back, I've been digging into her stuff, looking through her messages, her emails. I wanted to find out just how long she's been playing me. And what I found, it's worse than I thought. She's been sneaking around, lying, making excuses for late nights. She'd brush me off, say she had to work late or was catching up with some girlfriends. But now I see that's just what she wanted me to think. She was seeing Ryan behind my back, probably for months. The thing is, I've never felt so betrayed. The woman I married, the woman I trusted more than anyone, she turned out to be a liar and a cheat. It's like a punch in the gut every time I think about her bitchy attitude, the way she'd snap at me for no reason, how she'd dismiss everything I said. That was her way of masking what she was doing. She's good at lying, man. I remember when she told me Ryan was just an old friend she was catching up with, that she'd never cheat, that I was just being paranoid. How pathetic do I feel now? I keep asking myself, what did I do wrong? Did I miss the signs? Or was she just that good at hiding it? Honestly, I think the latter. She's manipulative, sneaky. She knew exactly how to keep me in the dark, and I was so naive, so trusting. I thought we were solid. I thought I knew her. Turns out I didn't know her at all. I've told a few close friends about it. Most of them are stunned. They knew Lisa could be bitchy, but nobody thought she'd cheat. They kept telling me I should confront her again, demand the truth, and maybe try to work it out. But I don't see the point. Every time I think about her lying to my face, trying to gaslight me, I get even angrier. Like, how could she be so fucking careless, so selfish? She threw away everything for some stupid sex or some stupid flirt. And for what? Ryan, some guy she claims was just an old friend. I don't buy it anymore. I think she's been lying to herself just as much as she lied to me. Honestly, part of me feels numb. Like I've been hit with a sledgehammer and now I'm just trying to breathe through the pain. I keep thinking about how we used to be, how she used to be. She was confident, bitchy maybe, but she was mine. Now I see her for what she really is, a liar, a cheat, someone who could sneak around with my best friend and keep a straight face about it. That realization kills me. It makes me feel so stupid for ever trusting her. What hurts even more is the betrayal by my best friend Dave. I never thought he'd do that to me. We've been tight for years, and now I find out he's been screwing my wife behind my back. That's like the worst kind of betrayal. I don't even know who to trust anymore. I want to confront him, but I don't even know what I'd say. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. For now, I'm just trying to stay afloat. I don't want to make any rash decisions, but I can't keep living like this, pretending everything's okay. I keep asking myself if I should try to fix things, if I should forgive her, or if I should just cut her loose entirely. Honestly, I don't know what's worse, the heartbreak of her cheating or the loss of someone I thought was my friend. Either way, I know I've got to do something because this betrayal has shattered whatever trust I had left, and I don't know if I can ever rebuild it. The days that followed were the hardest of my life. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat properly, and every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, bitchy, dismissive, lying straight to my face. I kept replaying the trip over and over, trying to find some clue I missed, some sign I was too blind to see. But the truth was glaring at me. She had been cheating for months. That's what hurts the most. The fact that I was so stupid, so trusting, and she was out there sneaking around with Ryan, having sex, probably laughing at how easy it was to lie to me. I remember the moment I decided I had to do something drastic. I was sitting in my living room, staring at the wall, when I saw her phone on the coffee table. That little voice inside must have been stronger than my own sense of shame or cowardice. I grabbed it and started scrolling through her messages again. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, probably some confirmation that I wasn't imagining things. And what I found, more than I expected. There were dozens of texts, some deleted, some still visible. They painted a picture of a woman who'd been lying to me for a long time. One message from Ryan really cut deep. She told him she was so glad to finally be with someone who knew how to please her, and that she was done pretending with me. Done pretending to be happy, to care, to love. That sentence rattled me. It was like a knife to the chest. How many times did she fake an orgasm, pretend everything was perfect? How many nights did she lay there lying to me with her bitchy smirk while she was screwing around behind my back? I felt sick, furious, betrayed. I wanted to scream, break something, cry, anything to get rid of the pain. But all I did was sit there, staring at those messages, feeling like I had been used, played, and discarded like trash. I knew I had to confront her again, face her, and demand answers. Real answers, not her bullshit lies this time. So I called her that afternoon, told her I wanted to see her, that I had more questions. She hesitated, but eventually agreed to come over. When she arrived, she looked smug as hell, like she thought she'd already won. She was bitchy, rolling her eyes, trying to dismiss everything I said. "You're overreacting, Mike," she said, crossing her arms. "It's just sex. It doesn't mean anything." That's when I lost it. I told her that her just sex was with my best friend and I wasn't going to pretend I didn't know any more. She scoffed, said I was being jealous, insecure. But I knew better. I knew she was full of shit. I pushed her on Ryan, asked her how long it had been going on. She shrugged, said it was just a fling, a mistake that she didn't mean for me to find out. That she was bored and Ryan made her feel alive again. That she was tired of pretending, tired of us. That I was just too controlling. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The woman I married, the woman I loved, was basically telling me she was done with us, done with me, and that she'd been lying the whole time. Her attitude only made me angrier. She was being bitchy, dismissive, like I was some inconvenience. She kept trying to gaslight me, saying I was overreacting, that it was just sex, just a stupid mistake. She didn't seem to care about how much she'd hurt me, how much she'd destroyed everything we had. I felt my chest tighten. I wanted to shake her, scream at her, tell her she was a bitch for what she did. But I just sat there, stunned, watching her lie so effortlessly. It hit me then, this wasn't just cheating. It was betrayal of everything I valued. The trust, the love, the respect. She wasn't the woman I thought she was. She was a bitchy, manipulative liar who'd been screwing my best friend and lying to my face for months. I realized I couldn't stay with her, not anymore. I told her to leave, that I didn't want to see her again unless she was honest and willing to fix what she broke. She looked at me like I was crazy, but I didn't care. I knew I deserved better than this, and I wasn't going to keep living in her lies. That night I stayed up till dawn trying to process everything. I felt empty, like a shell of a man. My trust in her was gone, shattered into a million pieces. All I could think about was how she'd betrayed me, how she'd lied so bitchily, so effortlessly, that it made me question everything. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing. I had to start rebuilding my life, even if it meant leaving her behind. I couldn't live with that betrayal hanging over me anymore. It was time to move on, no matter how much it hurt. The days after she left were a blur. I felt hollow, like I'd lost a part of myself that I'd never get back. Everywhere I looked, I saw reminders of her, photos, her clothes, the stupid little gifts she'd given me over the years. It was like a ghost town in my own house. I kept thinking about everything she said, how she dismissed everything we had like it was nothing, just some stupid mistake. That bitchy attitude she threw at me during our last conversation kept echoing in my mind, like she was mocking me, laughing at how gullible I'd been. I couldn't stop replaying her face when she lied to me, how she'd become so bitchy, so dismissive, so manipulative. She'd been planning this for a while, I was sure of it. The way she'd hide her phone, lie about where she was going, and then turn around and call me paranoid when I asked questions. She's a master manipulator, that one. I realize now she's always been good at hiding her true self behind that bitchy exterior. She's the kind of woman who can lie with a smile on her face, make you doubt your own eyes and ears. I reached out to some friends, trying to get perspective. Most told me I was better off without her, that I deserved someone who wouldn't cheat, who wouldn't be so bitchy and manipulative. But honestly, I was just numb. I knew I should feel angry, but all I felt was this deep ache. I kept asking myself how I missed all the signs, how I let her get away with this for so long. That's what hurts the most, knowing I was blind, trusting her blindly, and she was just using me. One thing I couldn't shake was the image of Ryan. That son of a bitch. I kept thinking about what he must have been doing behind my back, smiling in my face, pretending to be my friend. I know I should have seen it coming, but I didn't want to believe it. I was so caught up in trying to make things work, trying to trust her again, that I missed the biggest betrayal of all. That's why I feel so stupid now. Like I let her manipulate me into thinking everything was fine, when in reality she was just sneaking around, screwing my best friend. I won't lie, I was furious. Not just at her, but at myself too. How did I let this happen? How did I let her walk all over me? At first, I wanted to confront Ryan to tear him apart for his cheap fuckery, but I knew that wouldn't fix anything. I realized I'd only be wasting my energy on someone who never deserved my trust. No, I needed to focus on myself now, figure out what I wanted, what I needed to do to move forward. I also reflected a lot on our marriage. We had good times, sure, but this whole ordeal exposed how fragile everything was. I'd been so trusting, so naive, and it turned out that she was just waiting for the right moment to screw everything up. I think she got bored, or maybe she was always looking for some excitement, some way to feel alive. Whatever her reasons, I know now she's not the woman I thought she was. She's a manipulative, bitchy liar who'd rather screw around than work on what we had. Part of me wants to just cut her out completely, forget she ever existed. But I also know I need closure, something to help me move past this. I've started seeing a therapist, trying to make sense of it all. Talking to someone who's not involved helps, even if just a little. I've realized I shouldn't let her poison my mind or ruin my life. I deserve better. I deserve someone honest, someone who won't lie, cheat, or be bitchy just because she's bored. I still miss the person I thought she was. I miss the woman I married, the one who used to smile at me, who I thought genuinely loved me. But I know now that was just an illusion. She was never that person. She's a manipulative, lying, bitchy woman who was just pretending for years. And I'm glad I found out now, instead of years from now when I'd be even more broken. So I guess what I'm saying is this. If you're in a situation like mine, trust your gut. Don't ignore the signs. And don't let anyone treat you like you're crazy when you see something wrong. People like her can be charming, manipulative, and bitchy, but at the end of the day, you've got to stand up for yourself. The truth hurts, but it's better than living a lie. I still have a long road ahead, but I'm starting to see that I deserve better. I just wish I'd realized it sooner. Now that I've had some time to breathe and really think, I realize how much this whole ordeal has changed me. It's like I've been forced to confront the harshest truths about trust, betrayal, and what I really want from life. Honestly, it's been a brutal lesson, one I wish I didn't have to learn the hard way. But in some twisted way, I'm grateful for it too. I've gained clarity about who I am and what I deserve. I've come to accept that I can't control her actions, her choices, or her feelings. The only thing I can control is how I react to all of this. I've decided to focus on myself now, on healing, on rebuilding what little self-esteem I have left, and on finding someone who respects me, who values honesty, and who wouldn't treat me like a fool. I've started working out again, reconnecting with old friends, and pushing myself into new things. It's not easy. I won't pretend it is, but I know I have to do it. One thing I've learned is that no matter how much you love someone, if they keep lying and betraying you, there's no future in trying to fix things. It's better to walk away and save what's left of your dignity. Trust is everything in a relationship, and once it's broken, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. I don't think I could ever look at her the same way again, knowing what I know now. That bitchy, manipulative side of her, she's not the woman I married. That person was just an illusion I clung to. I also realize I need to forgive myself for staying so long. I kept telling myself I was being paranoid, that I was overreacting. But the truth is, I just didn't want to see the reality. I was scared to face the truth, scared to admit I'd been played. But now that it's out in the open, I see how foolish I was for trusting someone who didn't deserve my trust. It's a hard lesson, but one I won't forget. Going forward, I'm focusing on rebuilding my life, slowly, carefully. I've learned that healing doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. I don't want to rush into anything, but I do want to find peace again. I want to look in the mirror and know I did the right thing. I want to trust again someday with someone who's worthy of my love and honesty. But for now, I just want to get through the day without feeling like I've been punched in the gut. This whole experience has made me realize that some people are just not worth your suffering, that not everyone who seems perfect is actually good underneath, and that you have to protect yourself, your heart, and your sanity. I've learned to listen to that little voice inside that tells you when something's wrong. Don't ignore it. To anyone reading this who might be going through something similar, trust me, you're not alone. It hurts like hell, but you will get through it. You'll come out stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. Just don't let the betrayal define you. You're better than that. You deserve honesty, respect, and someone who will love you for who you really are. And if you don't have that right now, focus on fixing yourself first. That's what I'm doing. It's not easy, but it's necessary. I guess, in the end, I've learned that the most important thing is to value yourself enough to walk away from the bullshit. 2. Stop making excuses for people who don't deserve your patience or your loyalty. Because real love isn't about lies and manipulation. It's about trust, respect, and kindness. And I refuse to settle for anything less anymore.